What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp. Today we're going to be checking out the $50 gaming keyboard from HyperX. This is the Alloy Core RGB. So in a market already saturated with gaming keyboards from $100 to $200, it's really nice to see HyperX kind of take a step back and put this budget option out there for those who don't want to break the bank. Taking a look at it, it looks like a regular gaming keyboard. Just because it costs $50 doesn't mean it has to look $50. You can check off RGB on the list because yes, we even have RGB lights inside the keyboard. There are effects built into the keyboard itself, so no software is needed, and that's always a good thing. On the top left-hand side, you have 3 buttons, a brightness button, a button for switching your lighting effects, and a gamer key which disables Windows. Then on the right side, we have dedicated media keys and volume adjustment. I am extremely happy they have this on here, and believe it or not, these dedicated media keys is something that even some keyboards out there, $100 and up, still do not have, so I'm happy we actually have this on a $50 keyboard. Good job, HyperX. Flipping it over on the back, nothing fancy here, but 4 rubber pads to prevent it from sliding around, and 2 feet to elevate its backside. And this keyboard is even spill resistant because underneath all the keys, you have this enclosed kind of white backplate there, so no liquid can really seep through into the keyboard, which is good, but obviously don't be spilling stuff on your keyboard. You do have anti-ghosting and 6-key rollover, and that's about as far as the feature list goes. So at its core, the Alloy Core RGB is just that. You're not getting anything extra like, dedicated macro keys or anything. There's no USB pass-through. A $50 budget keyboard that gives you really what you need. Now, real quick, just to get this out of the way for all those really interested in the RGB lighting, I said it before, but we do have the effects built in here. All the keys are backlit, plus you have that light bar on the top of the keyboard, gives it some extra flair. So the first effect is just red backlighting. Pressing it again is gonna reveal a static 5-color kind of like layered zone here. The next effect is kind of like a fluorescent RGB wave, kind of smoothly rolling through. You get like pastel pinks, aqua blues. It looks pretty nice. Next up is a breathing effect that goes through all the colors. You then have the popular kind of RGB color wave flashing through. And the last effect is the red color wave pulsing in and out. So you can't change the speed and make your own effects because there is no software, but again, having these preset effects already built into the keyboard is better than having none or just one color to pick from. So it's good to at least have that for all those people out there who love the RGB. Now let's talk about the switches or lack thereof, because in these budget keyboards, you get the budget option, which is membrane. This is a membrane keyboard. For first-time gamers or those just getting into PC gaming, you haven't tried a mechanical keyboard before, you're probably then used to membrane because it's a lot of the budget options that you've probably tried in school or something like that. Odds are your school has membrane keyboards already. So it's gonna be that mushy kind of feel when you're typing and gaming. Everyone starts out with rubber dome, so no shame there. I know I did. When you pop off a keycap, you'll see that little plastic shell inside, the kind of tunnel, and that is where the rubber padding is in the middle. The actual keycap has the male end, it goes right in, and then actuates whenever you press it down. So again, this is not a mechanical keyboard, this is 100% rubber dome. The LED light is behind that white plate on the surface of the keyboard, which is gonna let it shine through it up to your keycap. This also means you cannot use a custom keycap set because obviously there is no stem here for it. It will not fit. So now I'm gonna do a sound test of these rubber dome switches so you could hear how they sound. Alright, so to give you guys my 2 cents of what I think about the Alloy Core RGB from somebody who has reviewed tons and tons of gaming keyboards from all prices all the way up to like I think $400 was the highest end keyboard I reviewed. For $50, you are getting a decent deal out there, mainly for beginners who are maybe just transitioning from console gaming to PC gaming. You don't want to, spend a lot of money on your peripherals just yet. You want a transitional type of keyboard to get you, started. And this is not a bad option. I'm one who is definitely more, used to mechanical switches by now. So I'm not the biggest fan of these rubber domes, but again, for beginners, this is going to be just fine for you. Now with that said, for $50, you're also getting some good features built in. The Rgb lighting, while not a huge deal, is a nice bonus out there for some extra flair. It makes it look more expensive, doesn't look like a $50 keyboard with the effects and that light strip, so that's always good. And I love how you have the dedicated multimedia keys with the volume buttons and the playback controls. That is all great. But on the other hand, there are some other keyboards out there for around $50 and a little bit under that are mechanical. They're not the best quality. No, they're not gonna last a while, but they're also a pretty good, step in the door of a budget gaming keyboard. So I'll put a few down below, just some other, budget mechanical options that are out there. And this is really gonna be like a direct competitor, I think, with, I know with the Razer Synosa, is that what it was? The Razer Synosa, when that first launched, I think that was 100. And the Corsair K55, believe it or not, that is one of the most popular gaming keyboards out there. That is $50 also. When that launched, that did extremely well. It's still like a top seller on this channel. So that's gonna be like fitting in right with that kind of category here. This and the Corsair K55, both RGB membrane keyboards that are going to help you get into PC gaming and to give you a budget keyboard option without breaking the bank. So like I said, it's a good keyboard for what it is. There's no doubt about that. It's not my cup of tea, but I've been PC gaming for years now. I've tried numerous keyboards out there. This is gonna be for the person who's just getting started. I said that numerous times. So I'll put this one down below for you guys, as well as that Corsair K55 and some other budget mechanical keyboards if you just wanna kinda, judge the field and see what's gonna be best for you, and also going by, how much money you got in your wallet to spend on a new gaming keyboard. But I wanted to get this video out there because not too often do you see these big companies like this putting out a pretty good budget option for a gaming keyboard at just $50. So that'll wrap it up for my review of the HyperX Alloy Core RGB keyboard. I keep wanting to say Cloud, that's the headset. HyperX Alloy Core RGB keyboard. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.